Hi, so today I'm going to be talking regarding the state of matter. So today let's start with the definition first before we start on. The state of matter is pretty much like the arrangement of particles of how these three types, the solid, liquid, and gas, are like formed. So before we go into that, let's start with describing the solids. So solids are majority of them are hard, and their particles, the arrangement of their particles, or you could say atoms, are like together like this. They are always together and they can't even move a bit. They can only vibrate a little. So let's move on to the example. I'll take my shoe as one of the example. And you could see like the upper top is made out of fabric material, and once you push down on it or compress it, it it just looks really weird, right? Once you pull it up, look what happens. It looks exactly fine. You know why this is classified as a solid? Because solids take shape. They do not lose their original shape like this. So it's always gonna be like this no matter what I do, like this, or whatever I do to the stock material. It's just pretty much gonna stay the same once I pull it up again like this, right? Moving on, let's move on to water. Water is something, liquid. Liquid is something we use every day. One of the examples are water. We shower in them, we wash our dishes, we even drink them. So the container and like the arrangement of the particles or atoms are like quite far apart. Therefore, it goes everywhere, and it even takes shape of the container like this. I don't have water with me right now, but I have hand sanitizer. So as you could see, there's not much hand sanitizer left, right? Therefore, it only takes a bit of space here, and this is like the excess or unnecessary space needed. Therefore, it only takes this much, and it doesn't go up until here. It only goes up until here if it's perfectly full. Moving on, let's move to gas. So, if you want to make instant noodles, like Indomie, for example, right? Indomie, right? Yeah. Okay, we need to first boil water. Therefore, when we boil the water, it'll eventually hit the boiling point and water vapor will start coming out of it, or steam. That is what you call evaporation, but we'll talk about that later. And gas, we have two gases that we uh use every day. You could say use oxygen and carbon dioxide. So when we inhale air, the air is also counted as oxygen, because it brings in the air and stuff like that to our whole body. And when we exhale, carbon dioxide comes out. And moving on to the processes, let's say there's a huge lake full of water, and there's a huge sun shining light to it, beaming it with all its light. It's eventually gonna hit its boiling point, and it's gonna, right? And then later it's gonna turn into clouds. And then how does it turn into clouds, you ask? The clouds, so first from just water vapor or gas, you could say, or steam, it turns into water and it compiles into one giant cloud. And then later it just condenses, and then later the gas will turn into water. And as already mentioned, evaporation, condensation, let's move to melting. So melting is just pretty much so it's the change of solid to liquid. Like for example, an ice cube, okay? An ice cube, when you leave it out for quite a long time, it's eventually gonna melt, obviously, right? Yeah, well, that's what you call melt because sorry that video is kind of cut off, but anyways, moving on to melting. Like melting is like just like an ice cube. When you leave it out, obviously it's gonna melt, right? When it melts, like it's obviously gonna turn into water again. But you can also change it back into an ice cube again. Did you know that? By just freezing. Just put it in a cold temperature and it's obviously gonna turn back into an ice cube. But if I'm not mistaken, you need like those things to like make it go into its original shape. Like those like square thingies. Yeah. Anyways, like usually like every freezer has it. And like that's pretty much all for me. Thank you.